found out that my terrible dad who has neglected me isn't my biological father. Today, I called him by his name and he was crushed. I am the oldest of 4 siblings. I have been treated like the black sheep in the family for as long as I can remember. On birthdays, I never had any, just a cupcake from my mom and no presents. I wasn't allowed to have friends over. Christmas was never something I looked for at most because I would only get some socks while I had to look at the presents my dad, aunts, uncles, and grandparents gave my siblings: new bikes, the latest fashion clothes, phones, game consoles, games, you name it, they got it. I was never allowed on family trips and vacations. I was left behind to stay with my grandparents, who were strict on everything I did, and sometimes, they would just call on someone else to pick me up while I was supposed to stay with them. When I was at home, I mostly stayed in my room and studied. It didn't matter how well I did in school or sports, my dad showed no interest. Yesterday, I came home from work late, tired, and just wanted to go to bed. I opened the door to hear my mom arguing with my dad and aunt about me. I could hear my aunt saying I should be more grateful to my dad. Then they saw me in the doorway and stopped. My mom and dad looked like they had seen a ghost, while my aunt announced, "And in comes the bastard." I was shocked to hear her say that. I know she did not like me and mostly ignored me when we were in the same room. But I got angry and asked her to repeat what she said. My dad quickly stopped her, but no, I wanted to know why I should be grateful for it. So I asked what was going on. No one said anything for a while. So I asked again and became grateful for being ignored, neglected, and abandoned while my siblings were spoiled and played happy family with dad. As soon as I said dad, my aunt shouted that I was not his son. I was shocked by what she said, and I asked my dad if it was true. He looked at me and just said, "I am sorry." I don't know what to say. I looked at my mom and she said nothing. I left my room and just started crying. Later, my mom found me on the floor shaking and crying. She helped me up and stayed with me until I fell asleep. I woke up this morning and called in sick. I barely left my room today. I feel like everything I have done to make the man I call dad proud or just to acknowledge me has been a waste of my life. On Thursday, before I left for work in the grocery store, my father, whom I will refer to as Richard, called out to me, and I responded by saying, "Yes, Richard?" He looked confused because I had always called him dad before. After a bit of silence, I asked what? Quite bluntly. He didn't respond and told me it was nothing, so I went to catch the bus. When I got home late in the evening, my mom wanted to know why I called her husband by his first name. I told her he never treated me as anything closely as a son, so why should I call him dad anymore? She had no answer, and she told me he was hurt by it. I wanted to scream when she said that. I told my mom that I couldn't get over the fact that for all these years how I had been treated and neglected by Richard and his side of the family. And she watched it happen, and I need to know why. She started to tear up and just told me how sorry she was and kept on saying "I am so sorry" over and over. It hurt me in that moment to see my mom cry, and I tried my hardest to keep my emotions in, and I asked her again why. After some time, when she calmed down,